Hello everyone, my name is Juan Lascano, and today I'll be discussing my e-learning initiative final project entitled North Carolina Educator Evaluation System Standard 1 Leadership Intervention Plan. For starters, this whole intervention plan is basically used as a tool to increase data usage within your classrooms. With the large amount of pressure that's being placed on us today in regards to state testing and reaching certain test scores, it is important that we use our data in a manner in which is most effective within the classroom. We're able to differentiate, set up small groups, and according to the U.S. News, states aren't even collecting any more data than they have within the past 10 years, which is common, or which most people would assume. But the collection is just the tip of the iceberg, and this initiative is meant to focus on the usage and analysis of the data once it has already been collected. So for session one, your main objective is to understand the various levels of proficiency with regard to collection, usage, and analysis of data within the NCEES system. Your directions will be to complete an online discussion in which you will upload your most recent or one from the past of your data for one particular objective, along with a paragraph describing how you are currently using that data within your classroom. Based on that description, one staff member from the classroom will rate your performance using Standard 1 within the North Carolina education system, and this must be submitted before Friday. And just to give you a better idea of the program that you will be using, or the data that you will be using, I will here we go. So if you look at the North Carolina teacher evaluation process, we want to focus our attention on teachers demonstrating leadership, with specific focus on developing proficient, accomplished, and distinguished levels. Our objective is to move as a school or as a class or your classrooms or your business from a level of developing to distinguished. Here in developing, we see that it uses data to understand just the skills and the abilities of the student. And then we want to move up towards proficient, in which we're providing evidence that that data-driven instruction is being carried throughout all activities, and eventually move towards the accomplished, distinguished segment, in which we empower and encourage students to create and maintain their own data, and to use that data to inform program planning within the classroom. So this is our whole objective, and I've offered, or I've shared with you all, a few articles that you could use to assist with that. So if you could just take about 5 minutes to view the presentation located here, that will give you just a clear idea of where data is being used and how beneficial it can be to the classroom, along with the 3 articles and 1 PDF file of your North Carolina evaluation process booklet. Now, the main objective with the U.S. News article is just to understand how data is being used throughout education as a whole. It's not meant to give you a true depiction of how you can improvise a plan within your classroom, and that's why I've also uploaded a SEDL file that explains, an article that explains how to use data to guide instruction and improve student learning. So to your right, you will see a link, and if the link is not uploaded, you can also just look at the bottom of this video and tag the link to upload your mastery tracker for one objective, your collection, analysis, and usage of data, rating worksheet for one of your classmates, as well as a 1-page description of how you are using or how you plan to improvise a plan for your students in the classroom. For session 2, we want to transition from using the ratings from your own peers, and I guess I can explain that just a little bit more in detail. The main objective for that is for you to have a colleague of yours rate your performance of usage of data collection, as well as the analysis of data within your classrooms right now, using the NCEES model that was located in the previous slide. And the whole purpose of this is to show some sort of growth, not only within your students, but also with you regarding how you use data within your classroom. So you are responsible formulating a 2-week intervention plan for students who are below mastery for a particular objective, and it must include the following: a mastery tracker of baseline data, which basically gives us an idea of where they started from and where they're going. It's also important that you make a statement identifying the concern. What is the main reason for you improvising this plan? Why such a particular focus on that objective? How are you planning to really tackle this concern that you have within the classroom? Thirdly, we want to see a development of measurable objectives. So we want to see gradual growth. The whole purpose of the intervention plan and for your rating purposes is to see you not only collecting data, not only sharing whole class data, but also focusing on particular data for particular students with particular focus on a objective or standard. Second to last, you want to make sure that you design and implement an intervention plan. This does not have to be extremely detailed, no more than a page or two of just a simple description of how you plan on improvising your plan. It needs to include the date, how long do you expect it to last, and we really just want to get a main idea of how you plan on improvising or implementing this plan, as well as measurable goals. So how do you plan on tracking the growth? And I'm assuming that you really want to use your master tracker. And last but not least, we want evidence that monitors that individual progress, whether it's with report cards, the mastery tracker, a week-by-week update, or really a 2-week update throughout the plan, just to show that we are seeing growth within the classroom. So I've included 2 articles for you to read for session 2, which is writing your own data-driven instruction story, which is going to give you a better idea of how to create your intervention plan, and also a really good YouTube video that explains why using data to drive instruction is important. Your plan will last for 2 weeks, from March 24th to April 4th, and your objective is to complete your intervention plan, track your data, and to make sure that you upload and update in week 3, in which you're just continuing to implement your data intervention plan, making sure that all your data is recorded. Your only task for week 3 is to upload 1 discussion post to inform classmates of any updates and strategies that you've been working on in the classroom thus far. Once again, strengthening the community effort as well as the collaboration amongst your peers. This is due no later than that Friday before the last week of the program, March 28th. And last but not least is week 4, in which you will collaborate with your colleagues to discuss the outcomes of the intervention plan. This is for you to share your updated progress with staff members. Using Google Hangout and Google Docs, you will upload your intervention plan and mastery trackers onto the Google Doc, and we will meet on Google Hangouts to discuss through chat some of the benefits and advantages that you've used, some of the advantages that you have using your intervention plan. You're responsible for responding to at least 2 of your colleagues to explain some of the things that you enjoy from the intervention plans and some suggestions for making it better. We also want to reevaluate the discussion or the initial ratings that was given, that you all gave each other in week 1, just to see if we, if you all have some form of growth going on within the classroom. That concludes my presentation. Once again, this was an e-learning initiative to increase test scores using particular data, focusing on the collection, usage, and analysis of data within the classroom. Thank you.